Hi, I'm Richard. I'm Richard Wixo.
Release me, let me go. I have so many things to see and do. You mustn't tie yourself to me with tears. Happy that we had so many wonderful years. I give you my love, and you can only guess how much you gave me in happiness. I thank you for the love that you each have shown, but now it's time I travel alone. So grieve a while for me if you grieve, you must. And let your grief be comforted by trust. It's only for a while that we must part, so bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on. So if you need me, call and I'll be near. And if you listen with your heart, you'll hear my love around soft and clear. And then when you must come this way alone, I'll meet you with a smile and say, welcome home. Author unknown. We will always remember Rick for the wonderful, loving things that he did for all of us. During his short life here on earth, he will always have a special place in all our hearts. He was such a special part of our family. I have 3 sons, and he was our adopted son. So we really had 4 sons, and we miss him, but we love him, and we think of him every day. Thank you so much.
Just a little less. When you're weary, when you're feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when you need a friend. Down. Yes, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you, yes I will. I'm on your side. Oh, when you need a friend, and friends just can't be found like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. Oh, keep on going, baby. This is Christopher Spinks, everybody. We're just pulling it together for Rich. Sail on, silver girl. Sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. When you need a friend, and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. I'm gonna lay me down. I think that's what your friend would say for you, wouldn't it? I will lay me down. I'll be there for you. I will lay me down. Not only on Sunday, I will lay me down. Every day of the week, I will lay me down.
Wixo. W-I-X-O, Wixo.
Yes, and where are you from?
North Dakota.
And what brought you to Los Angeles?
Oh, I dreamed ever since I saw my first television program in volleyball on the beach. You know, I wanted to be in
I
California.
was coming from the climate of North Dakota.
Yeah.
What did your folks do there?
My mother, she ran a home for mentally retarded children. So that's where I grew up. And then my dad ran a power plant.
I see.
Yeah.
So she ran the home, but it was different from your home.
No, right in our home.
So it was like she took in foster children or something?
Oh yeah, up to 18 years old.
How many lived with you?
12. Yeah. We had a big house, big Victorian home, and
This woman was doing God's work.
yeah, she was. She was amazing.
How amazing is that?
Yeah.
Is she still alive?
No.
She passed?
Yeah.
How? May I ask?
My dad and her passed together 2 years ago, and their car was hit by a train.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
great.
it was a tough thing. That's
Yeah.
why I disappeared for a couple of years. I haven't seen you.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
So you were living in North Dakota, you were a kid, you watched TV, and suddenly you said,
California. I took on the aura of California, and people would say to me, you know, my classmates and stuff, oh, you look like you're from California. And I don't know if I did something, or it was probably subconscious, you know. But it was
did you have like a surfer act that you did?
No. Oh, you know what it was, I think? I talked like they did on television. Not the brogue, you know, it's very Norwegian, and it's, you know.
Well, it's a little like Fargo.
Like Fargo, yes, very. Yeah. Danish and Norwegian.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, it felt good to see that beautiful face. Huh? This song, I'm one of those people that sounded like you talked about. Yes, my name is Ruthie Vivaken, and I'm from North Dakota, where Rick is from, and I'm cousin Ruth. This song is what we always sing together, and I'm singing this in honor of you, Rick. Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all thy worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars and forest glades I wander. I hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountains grandeur and hear the brook and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! But when I think that God, His Son, not sparing, sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burdens gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart. Then I'll bow down with humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. If you know it, sing with me. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art! This is for you, Rick. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art! How great thou art!
I saw you from afar, two lovely eyes eyes at me they were gleaming, beaming. I was starstruck. You're all
I've known this gal since she was born. I don't remember hearing that she was born, you know, because I'm close to her age. But boy, I sure knew that she was around. Her and I bonded very, very, very early on. My mother ran a group home for the mentally retarded, and that's where I lived, you know, with everybody. And Ruth used to come over, and she, you know,
Loved it.
loved it. All those colorful characters. And Ruth now does that herself. She works for Easter Seals, practically volunteers for them for the amount of money she gets for it. But she cares for people that are in need too, you know, just like my mother. So.
I learned from the best. I learned from the best. You're a beautiful mom.
So I'm so glad that you're here. I knew that this would be the best gift of all to
instead of
hear
talking
on
about
your
Rick,
birthday.
I wanted to talk to Rick. So I wrote him a letter. Dear Rick, I always told you that your mere presence was a celebration. Well, your presence is definitely here tonight. You drew a crowd. Yet again, honey. We are here to celebrate you, the handsome, talented, creative, smart, beautiful soul that you are. I can just see those blue eyes of yours swelling up with tears of joy and appreciation for all the love that you have known and nurtured throughout your incredible and full life. Your Los Angeles family has shown so much love and support to not only honor you, but to support those of us who are missing you now. Martin, Jomo, Lynn, Gladys and Dick, Sunil, Ann and Lynn, Carl and Dan, Juan and Louise, Linda and Richard, Fabio and Carrie, everyone that came together for this tonight. And all the good folks at Sotheby's, and of course, your spiritual family at your beloved North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. Also there encouraging you was Barbara, Mark, David, and Lynn. They have also been especially kind to me and a spiritual help during this difficult time, like they always were to you. I won't even attempt to add to your list because that robust list of your LA family is incredible and long, and the list could never be long enough to comprehend all the love that was given to you and how you gave it back tenfold. How blessed I am to think that you're with your mom and dad, our grandmas, Art, Jim, Tom, John, and beloved Uncle Gust. They were and are so proud of you, and I know they rejoiced with the angels when you entered into heaven. Our earthly angel found his home. But I have a few things to let you know, and I'm repeating myself, but I just want you to know how you are loved by me. I always would say, I just want to shout it from the rafters, so I thought this is a good place to shout. So here goes. I'm just reiterating what I've told you all our lives. Thank you for loving me, Ricky. You were always like the prom king who took me, the unpopular girl, to the dance. You believed in me and I believed in you. We were a team. From the time we were kids, you always protected me from anything that was unkind or unjust. That never left me, nor did you ever stop loving me like that, even to my most recent 50th year. You empowered me not to be fearful, but to stand strong, and which, by the way, I'm testing that out right as we speak. The memories are far too many to share, but will be eternal in my heart. We experienced what many would call the full circle of life, from when you were there with me at the birth of my son, and also your godson, Anthony, to both of us being there as his namesake, your dad, Anthony, passed away. You welcomed and added and contributed so much to the family Robert and I created by celebrating and encouraging our children, Anthony, Natalie, and Sarah. Never did you not tell them to go for their dreams or support their lives in whatever path they took. This all would have been almost unbearable if I had not had the support of you all and of their partners, my beautiful daughter, Jakarta, you Arling in Norway, and Dylan in Minneapolis. Robert, Anthony, Natalie, and Sarah wept. You wept with me at the loss of you leaving this earth, but we are grateful for all the love you gave us throughout all of our lives. I know you'd be happy that Anthony and Jakarta and Natalie are here, and I know you were proud of baby Sarah when she represented the North Dakota service. They so wanted to acknowledge you with their love and with their presence. No prompting from me, a testimony to their authentic love for you. Robert and I want to thank you for impacting our children in a way you may not even have comprehended. A special thank you from Robert. He wanted to thank you, Rick. Thanks for listening. Not just hearing, but listening and for understanding. You and I always knew that we were so lucky, blessed actually, that not only did we share this same DNA, but that we're family. And we were also friends, good friends, kindred spirits. I hope I tried everything for you because I know you did everything for me. Being related and you being my friend brought me unspeakable joy. Our lifelong history could be understood with a nod, an endearing smile without even saying one word or explanation. Our family on the Freddie side was getting smaller and smaller. The matriarch, some of you may know her as Grandma in the front row, was not able to be here tonight, but she is thinking of you and your Isabel, as we would call her, and she would love when you came to North Dakota and she would get the thermos, fill it up with coffee, and they would be down the road on the prairie with their little lunch. With your beloved Sherry, your sister, left, the only one left in her immediate family, I stand here to promise you, Rick, that my dad, my mom, and your cousin, my brother, we will do everything we can in your honor, as well as your dad and mom's and Grandma Siri's honor, to support her and those beautiful nieces and nephews. Chris and Shauna, those beautiful kids, Ashley, Haley, Tristan, and baby Jacob. But I just want you to know something. Sherry's been supporting me too. What about all those North Dakota friends that you maintained all these years after you moved away? Alan and Glynis and Jean and the lifelong family friends and those Wixos, they all lit up when we just talk about you. Thank you for being always so proud for being from North Dakota, and we are very proud to claim you. You are loved and adored, dearest Rick, by many, but in closing, I just want to let you know I miss you. There's a few things that I really will miss, so I have to close with this. I will miss talking about old Hollywood. Robert, get out the old Hollywood 101 because you got a new job. We talked about it all the way through from beginning to middle to end, the history, everything, the final cut of anything, as long as it was old Hollywood. We had a lifelong appreciation for that. And you so humored me when I gave you facts about things that you probably already knew. You were very patient listening to me. And you would always end the conversation, well, if I want to know anything about Hollywood, all I have to do is call Ruth in North Dakota. I will also miss the way that big paw hand of yours helped me cross the street with way too high heels as I clip-clopped around LA, and we both laugh as I typically fell off my heels. Oh, I'm gonna miss laughing with you. And I'll miss working on our creative projects. We always had something in mind, even though the miles separated us. We always had the same thoughts in mind. Your mind was always working. And Rick, you have so much talent. Rick, you are so talented. And I always used to tease him, hey, why don't you let me be your agent? He then replied, well, you'd hound them till they give me a job. But I love you, Ruthie. You never give up. I will miss when you dial me up on the phone and don't say anything, and there is just continuous polka music playing. Lawrence Welk himself would be very proud. I will miss our house talks. Remember, we would both be on the phone and on the computer, and at the same time, we would be looking at those houses. We must have lived in hundreds of houses in the LA area without ever being late for one house mortgage. I will miss feeling like we were kids, even when we weren't. Gosh, I better run and try to get through this big old world without you, forever friend. But the faith from which we came from reminds us all that we will all be together again one day. Until then, I know you are with me. I'll be okay. I'll be good. I'm blessed with my beautiful family, friends, so many of them being friends that you introduced me to. And my faith, and I won't forget to live in the present, I promise. So thanks for the horse rides and the car rides and everything in between. From my birth to my 50th birthday in LA, you did everything. And I want you to know this. You did everything in your power to let me know that I was loved by you. And Rick, you were so loved by me and the many lives you touched so perfectly. I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my Ricky will be. Signed, your Ruthie.
He asked me to come up and hold the mic for him. So I said, well, okay. So he's going to knock yourselves.
Yeah, this piano was Rick's, and he put it on to me for quite a few years, and I wrote quite a few songs on it. So tonight I'd like to share a song and a half that I wrote on this piano. The first is called One Heart, One God, One Love. Heart to heart we are connected. Soul to soul we are joined. Never alone or divided. One heart, one God, one love. One heart, one God, one love. Let's be the peace we're dreaming of. Anchored in truth. almas están entrelazadas, nunca están solos ni separados. Un corazón, un Dios, un amor. Un corazón, un Dios, un amor. Hagamos este sueño de paz una realidad, forjado en la verdad, satisfacer nuestra necesidad. Un corazón, un Dios, un amor. One heart, one God, one love. Fortunate of having this piano. I probably wrote about 30, 40 songs on it. And there was a return to him on December, and he actually had a party for it during that time, and I got to celebrate with him and several of you in this room tonight. And I'm so grateful. He was a friend of mine for over 18 years, and I thank God for him. Yesterday is over, the past is far behind. All we have is this moment, seeking you shall find peace like a river, peace like a river. Tomorrow's far away, the future I can't see. Why worry about things I cannot control, when right here and now I am free with peace like a river, peace like a river. Chaos and confusion can hit you like a flood, and you feel like you will drown. Oh, but you have the power to say, please be still. Then the waters of your life will subside at your will. Let's celebrate this moment with passion in our lives. Farewell to the fear, say goodbye to the pain. So long to the struggle and strive and flow like a river. Rick has peace like a river. We are the river.
I want to thank everyone for such all the hospitality, everyone in LA has shown me. I can see why Rick liked to stay out here and made his life here. Everyone is just, all the beautiful LA people are just so kind. Rick was there for me the day I was born, and I want to be there today to send him away. So, Rick made the Amazing Alphabet. The Amazing Alphabet is a flashcard system designed to build self-esteem and learn the alphabet at the same time. Children's perception of themselves can determine how they think and what they will be willing to try. Low self-esteem can limit a child's ability to learn and succeed. Rick's Amazing Alphabet is a new and innovative concept that helps to teach positive affirmations to every letter of the alphabet. Children learn to associate the keyword or phrase with a letter on the card by verbalizing the letter and phrase themselves. By expressing each affirmation in their own way, it becomes part of their consciousness and opinion of themselves. So having said that, what I want everyone to do is I'm going to go through every letter of the English alphabet, and I'm going to say the letter and the phrase, and I want everyone to repeat the phrase. So I'm bringing you guys back to school. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. A, I am amazing.
I am amazing.
B, I believe in me.
I believe in me.
C, I am creative.
I am creative.
D, I dare to dream.
I dare to dream.
E, I make the effort.
I make the effort.
F, I face my fears.
I face my fears.
G, I have greatness in me.
I have greatness in me.
H, I have helping hands.
I have helping hands.
I can use my imagination.
I can use my imagination.
J, join hands.
Join hands.
K, I show kindness.
I show kindness.
L, I love myself.
I love myself.
M, I master my own mind.
I master my own mind.
N, I act naturally.
I act naturally.
O, my opinion counts.
My opinion counts.
P, I have a purpose.
I have a purpose.
Q, I ask questions.
I ask questions.
R, I respect myself.
I respect myself.
S, I am special.
I am special.
T, I trust myself.
I trust myself.
U, I am unique.
I am unique.
V, I am valuable.
I am valuable.
W, I am willing.
I am willing.
X, I X out negative thoughts. Y, be yourself.
Be yourself.
And Z, I have a zest for life.
I have a zest for life.
So that every letter on here, Rick instilled in me. He always encouraged me. He helped me to dream, and he helped me to achieve all I could. Rick taught me to be accepting of everybody and to love people for who they are. And today, I want to say that I honor Rick, and I'll never forget him, and I'll always keep him in my heart. And I thank all of you for coming and celebrating with us. And though this is a difficult and emotional time, it's also a great time of celebration of all the things that Rick has done for each and every one of us in this room. Today I am in school, I'm in graduate school, and I work with kids, and I see the value of every one of these letters, and I try to instill that in all the kids I work with, and I will do that for the rest of my life. And I have Rick to thank for that. So I want to say today that, Rick, I love you, and I'm so glad I got to come to California, because whenever I think of LA, I think of Rick. And even though he was born in North Dakota, this is his home. And that's why I thought it was proper to send him off here and do it right with everybody that he loves here, his LA family. So thank you again for all the welcoming hearts and open arms everyone here has shown me. And let's party tonight. In honor of Rick.
So anyway, we have to go to a commercial right now.
Oh, right.
So you stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Very first van to sport DHL's great new look. And as soon as we get across the bridge, we'll actually give you a chance to see it. Pretty cool, huh? Did you notice a guy back there dressed in DHL flyer bags? That's performance artist Mel Thompson, who made his debut in DHL Inc. last year, and he does this sort of thing just for fun. Welcome to San Francisco. Wow, and you thought your route was tough. Welcome to Lombard Street, the crookedest street in the world. Oh. 55 brand new step vans will be entering DHL's fleet this year. And we're moving on up.
Kids, I think we're going to be staying at Grandma's for a while.
You'll be the toast of Paris, Texas.
Yeah, of course, she's going to love it, yes.
I've been waiting for you, Tex.
Have I got a surprise for you, Lula?
Oh my God! You've been abducted!
Lula? Lula!
Get the cut that fits your style. Supercuts.
My name is Natalie, and Rick is my cousin, or as sometimes we told strangers he was my uncle, or sometimes we said we were high school classmates. I mean, we did graduate from the same high school, so. I just wanted to read you some thoughts I have about Rick. Rick was a present, loving family member for as far as I can remember. But our friendship really began 10 years ago when he gave me and my best friend at the time, Samantha, our first experience of Los Angeles. A couple years later, he was the person who drove me to my first day of college in Thousand Oaks. And throughout my time in California, he introduced me to all that was magical and exotic and thought-provoking. But most importantly, he encouraged me to find all by myself, without a map, just like he did. The past 10 years of my life were enhanced and extended in love and wonder because of Rick's ability to magnify and minimize. And what seems small and insignificant in nature, in a story, or in others, he could magnify it and reveal its specialness. If there was a problem or what I saw to be a huge sore spot in myself, he had the divine ability to minimize its power and return the power back to me. Let nothing fool or distract you from your divine talent. My fear and excuses didn't hold up with Rick. Take your fear and do it anyway. It felt so good, it felt so exhilarating to be around someone who embraced all that made him an individual. Someone who wasn't afraid to shake things up with kindness and humor when faced with negativity, or a little sass and rebellion when met with rules and regulations. He captivated wherever he was, and he gracefully commanded attention, but reveled in the miraculousness of the universe, the stars and planets, and how it all made us so small and so humbling. I miss that laughter that started deep in his gut, and that delayed, lingering look he gave me when he wasn't quite following along. That Aquarian truth-seeking and honesty, progressive yet revered the past. And there is no end to the list of the words describing Rick, yet they couldn't come close to adequately capturing his essence. Nothing could describe the love I have and share with him. I will forever be looking for Rick, for his handsome face in reflections in dark windows, through trees, and especially in the mountains, where he loved to be and refused to live far from. As close to the stars as he could be. I love you, my truly free spirit, Rick. Wixo, W-I-X-O. Thanks.
My son Matthew didn't look like a winner. He was rather uncoordinated and wore braces from the time he was 18 till the day he died. But in his all too brief life, my son proved that he was a winner. On October 6, 1998, my son tried to show the world that he could win again. On October 12th, 1998, my firstborn son and my hero lost. On October 12th, 1998, my firstborn son and my hero died. 50 days before his 22nd birthday. I often wonder that. Well, what could he have become? How could he have changed his piece of the world to make it better? Matt's beating and hospitalization and funeral focused worldwide attention on hate. Good is coming out of evil. People have said enough is enough. I miss my son, and I thank God that he was my son. Mr. McKinney, you left him there to die. You left him on the plains of Wyoming tied to a fence. But he wasn't alone. He had his lifelong friends with him, friends that he'd grown up with. He had that beautiful night sky with the same stars and moon that we used to look at through a telescope. And then he had the wind, then, that ever-present Wyoming wind that he felt for the last time. But he had one more friend with him. He had God. And I feel so much better knowing that he wasn't alone. It's been said that Matt was against the death penalty. That statement is false. I too believe in the death penalty. There's nothing more than I'd love than to see you die, Mr. McKinney. But now is the time that we must focus on healing, and so therefore I suggest to the jury to grant you life instead. Every time you wake up in your prison cell, remember that Matt is no longer here. Remember that you had the opportunity and the ability to stop your actions that night. Every time you celebrate a birthday, the 4th of July, remember that Matt isn't. May you have a long life, Mr. McKinney, and may you thank Matthew every day for it.
I'm Lynn Chapat, and I work with Rick.
And I'm Mark Giroux, and I'm the brokerage manager at Sotheby's, and had the pleasure working with Rick for 6 years. Yeah, I first met Rick in 2006 when we were both sales agents in the office, and Rick immediately struck up a professional, friendly relationship with me, and I just so remember being taken by his warm smile, his spirit, his attitude, and not to mention his sexiness.
So Ann and I met Rick 4 years ago when we started at Sotheby's. I had a preconceived notion of this joint. I thought Rick was going to be very pinkies up, you know. And it wasn't. I was so delighted to discover that there were real people there. They were sweet and so smart. And they had a lot to say. And they had every conceivable outfit and ringtone known to humankind. But it was in a typical office like this, like a bullpen, it's just huge, and there's this sea of voices. You have to learn fast how to tune out the chatter. But from time to time, I would hear this calm, this supportive, mellow voice. So I got to looking over in what I call the South 40 of our office. And I thought, who is that tall drink of water with the dulcet voice?
Well, that was clearly our Rick. And 2 years ago, I stopped being sales agent and came back to the office as manager. So I got to work with Rick at a whole different level. And you know, Rick, being the open person that he is, would talk to me every day. And it's just amazing, you know, what he shared and the spirit in which he shared it. And unlike most real estate agents, when they sit down to do their business plan, you know, most agents are focused on numbers and number of deals and dollars. Rick's business plan was actually a list of affirmations, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'm so proud and happy to have him share that with me. And I want to share with you some of the things he actually wrote in his business plan. So this was from his business plan in 2011. Actually, this was written in 2010, so it was the first year Rick and I worked together. This is what he said. I love real estate and the diversity of homes here in Los Angeles. A home to me is just that. A place to be, to come home to, a place where we feel safe, proud, warm, and creative. As real estate professionals, we have a very important job in finding and securing that perfect dwelling for our clients. It's a big job, and when it happens, it's a fantastic experience. You know, Rick had so many fantastic experiences in his career. He was truly loved and respected by his colleagues and his many clients. Rick was such a team player in the office. He was always the first one to jump up to help someone out in a pinch. And he especially, you know, loved sharing deals, especially with his friend Michelle. Here's another affirmation from his business plan. I am perfect in all areas of my life. I am open to new ways of thinking and in my approach to each new day. I am a success in all areas of my life.
Real estate is unpredictable, as you can imagine. It's a relief to go eye to eye with somebody and actually know who is there. That was a gift from Rick. And he and I had the same philosophy, so I knew I was going to like him from the get-go, because our philosophy about looking at a pile of manure was the same. There's a donkey in there somewhere. And he and his clients would work really hard together, and they would make magical improvements on a house. So it was always a pleasure to show Rick's listings. You know, we'd be on time and thoughtful and manly and all that good stuff. And he knew that the buyers were just going to love it. And he'd be out there fluffing and folding and getting it all ready. And no matter what it took, he did it. I mean, it was the picture of a gay man with a shovel. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not like this guy, right? I've been putting thoughts together. One of the things that came to me was like, this guy really gave new meaning to the phrase, you know, the Hollywood phrase, "You had me at hello." And he really did what we both. You know, my friendship with Rick was mostly professional, but you know, in spite of the Sotheby's image we're totally unprofessional in the office. And Rick, one of my fondest memories of Rick is around the figa. I don't know if any of you know what this is, but it's a Brazilian good luck charm. It's a Brazilian token of friendship. And Rick has one that he cherished and wore almost every day, and we always talked about it. And his happened to be a bigger version of mine with a delicious looking emerald embedded in it. And any of you who know my partner know that he likes to be a little cheeky and sassy from time to time, which Rick clearly enjoyed. And at a company function at my house one night, Rick had his figa on, and I had mine on. And so my partner Dave goes up to Rick and says, "Wow, you know, I love those. That's, you know, Mark has his, you know, it's a whole Brazilian thing." And he looks at Rick and says, "But yours is so much bigger than Mark's." At which point, you know, Rick kind of got that pause that he would get, and he kind of tilted his head a little bit. And then in all his North Dakotan charm, he just kind of blushed a little bit and said, "Yeah, I hear that all the time."
Speaking of being friendly, pretty soon as we got to know him, you know, he would do his little daily drive-bys, our cubicles, and he immediately saw Anne's pictures of her horses, and a friendship was born. They would go to the barn, and then sometimes they would grab some of the animal lovers in the office, and we'd all go to the barn, or they would go on these little barn dates. And it was really a wonderful thing. They became fast friends, as did we. And he was as tall as her horse. So the horse was surprisingly compliant when he was around, which was really great. Now, if he came by my desk and I was having a hot flash, he'd smile and go like this. You know, and then my misery, yes, thank you, my misery would change to a giggle or something. And I've been a big old gay activist for a million years, you know, since the earth cooled. And every year I pick someone to drag off and put them in the parade with me. So that we marched down the Pride Parade. This year was Rick. He was so much fun. He so much got into it. It was really great. He helped spin the big HRC flag, and he was posing with the Derby dolls and whatever, and we wore our Sotheby's hats.
I think Rick gave us all so many gifts, and I feel, you know, what I learned from him, especially in the last year, was just, you know, his fearlessness. I mean, Rick faced everything he was going through with such energy, such spirit, such cheerfulness. I don't think I've ever heard the guy complain, and he certainly had a lot, you know, that he could have complained about. Even after he'd had the surgery on his leg, when he came to work with a walker, I saw him walk in, and I didn't know what to say. In sensing my discomfort, you know, Rick, in his gracious manner, made a joke, and he said, "She's a beauty, isn't she?" And he went on to say that he was going to decorate it in Sotheby's blue and put his flyers and banners on it and use it as a marketing tool. So, I mean, he totally had this ability to make everyone comfortable and feel good. And, you know, I so respect him for that and learned so much about that and how to face life and challenge.
When in his company, I always felt heard, safe, and cared about. When he was with you, it was as if all your sins were gone, forgiven. It was probably just the way he was made. But what a good teacher. What a good teacher for us to learn how to be with one another in a better way.
Yeah, I want to close with the last words Rick wrote on his business plan this year. And this is what he wrote. This is, you know, there's probably like 3/4 of a page of white space when he wrote this. "I say yes to life." And, you know, you certainly did, buddy, and we love you.
Thinking about a second song, I thought, what would really represent Rick? And I remember when Rick lost tragically his parents in a train accident in North Dakota. He suffered so with that, and I would want to help him and help him
I could not, I felt. But one day I was driving and I heard a song that just spoke to me. It was about somebody moving on, but yet they were always there. And when I was going through things, I found a box he gave me, and he said, our love is way beyond the physical. And I thought, how perfect. He's giving me back the very thing I gave to him, and I want to share the song with all of you. I've dedicated to my children one day when I'm not there with them, and I gave it to Rick when he was losing his parents. And now I hope this song will be a comfort to all of you, and knowing that Rick is right around the corner and definitely in our hearts. Don't you be afraid, for I promise you I'll be there. When the shadows come and moonlight paints pictures on the wall, and you're feeling lost and lonely, like no one cares at all. When you can't chase the demons inside you, and it's more than a soul can bear, you must never fear they will disappear. Look around you and I'll be there. There'll be times when friends desert you, and life may let you down, and those moments leave you feeling like the circus just left town. You just tell me if anything hurts you, I'll make it alright, I swear. Sure as rainbows bend, my forever friend, I will promise you I'll be there. A kiss and a smile, then dream for a while. You'll wake up and I will be there.
Rick, I don't remember you sharing with me how beautifully Cousin Ruthie sings, but thanks for setting her hair this evening. My name is David Kane, and I'm a practitioner at Rick's beloved North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, a practitioner as a spiritual counselor. Churches of religious science are becoming known as centers for spiritual living. So clearly this is where Rick belonged, because the guy knew something about spiritual living. There's actually an event there this evening that was planned for a long time. It's the inauguration, the grand opening of a new ministry called the Labyrinth Ministry. And our ministers and some of our other practitioners and congregants were already committed to that event this evening, or more than would have been here. But what's great is that Rick was very involved with that project also, so he's going to be honored there this evening. He'll be in the videos. His name is on a plaque. And I was saying to Ruth before the ceremony that uncannily Rick found a way to be in two places at one time. You know? He would have been there in his physical form, and now he's here with us as well as with them. But everyone who heard that I was coming to make some comments about Rick here at the service this evening said virtually the same thing. The ministers, the other practitioners and congregants, make sure you convey to everyone there just how much he was loved, what a beautiful guy he was, and how much we'll miss him. So that's unanimous coming from the church. So I was asked by Martin and Lynn Romanowski, one of our beloved practitioners there, who was he was one of those fast friends that Rick seemed to make, because she was, that Rick seemed to make so readily. I was asked to share some comments about Rick's experience at the church, how he approached his spiritual journey, and what it meant to him. My first experience with Rick, as I remember, was when I was on staff at the church as Director of Care Ministries, and Dr. Mark Riera, our senior minister, asked me to make sure that a young man named Rick Wixo, who was having a procedure at Kaiser Sunset, I think it was well supported, that he knew that we loved him and we were there for him. So I called the leader of the pastoral care team at the time, and I said, this one seems really important to Dr. Mark, so see what you can arrange, and please confirm that someone will be there for Rick. And not long after that, I got a call back saying that beloved Lynn Romanowski, doing her nursing thing, she's retired from that now, she's a wonderful practitioner, she was right there at Kaiser, and she was happy to go and support Rick. And again, I think they became fast friends. That's Rick. And I remember seeing Rick then at the church sometime after his recovery, and I asked him how he was doing, asked if I could pray with him, and he was smart enough to always accept a prayer support. He never turned that down. But I was really struck by just how open he was, how willing he was to consider spiritual truth, spiritual principle, and how grateful he was for all of the support that he got. He wanted everyone to know, just as others of you said, and he wanted everyone to know how much he loved them, how much he appreciated anything that was done in his behalf. I was really, really impressed with that. Well, a few years later, Rick was seeming to thrive, things were going well, but he got some news that there was another challenge and he was going to have to make some decisions, and he asked if he could book a private session with me. And we did many more sessions after that together, and that's when I really got to know him and to see how extraordinary he really was. So Rick, of course, wanted prayer support for his health considerations, but he wasn't preoccupied with them. He was focused on other things that were important in his life. As with most of us, he wanted, continued release of any limiting beliefs, or as Anthony said, exiling those negative thoughts. He wanted, to be supported in that. He wanted expansion in his professional life, in his creative life, harmony in his relationships, financial abundance, financial freedom, the same things that all of us want, the same things that make our lives rich and fulfilling. But we as practitioners, we're happy to support people in thinking big, believing in all possibilities, demonstrating those wonderful conditions. But we always try to remind people that the important thing, what's most important, is our spiritual evolution. Well, Rick was one of those guys that you didn't have to prompt with that. You didn't have to remind him of that. He seemed to be able to work that out on his own always. When I got to meet with Ruth and Isabel, they attended a service there at a church the day after Rick's passing, and I got to spend some time with them after the service. By the way, Isabel really relished that. She said Rick would relish that I'm sitting in the same chair where he would do his work. And Ruth was saying she was really impressed with how Rick would do the work personally on his own. He would come to the church, he'd get inspiration, he'd take classes or whatever, but he would take that and he would really work it in his personal life, and he would take those principles deeper, and it was really evident. And I said, yeah, I said, you're right. I can remember times when he'd come in talking about, an upcoming procedure, and he acknowledged the fears, we'd process that together. He would talk about the other things that were important to him, but at some point he would sit back in the chair and he'd say, David, he'd say, all those things are important, but it's really about the love. It's all about the love. And I would think, hey, dude, you be the practitioner. Let's change church. You minister to me because you got it. You got it. That is the way it is. It's all about the love. There's so much reporting of these near-death experiences now, maybe because the resuscitation techniques are better, whatever, but there's a lot of information about these extraordinary experiences that people have, even at a time when they're so-called clinically dead. They have this experience of an expanded consciousness that really transforms them. For those who come back, almost unanimously, they come to the conclusion that the material things, the earth plane ambitions are not nearly as important as unconditional love. They felt this presence, which is the ultimate reality. But Rick already had that. I don't know if he ever had any near-death experiences, but he got that, he really embodied that. Another thing that really impressed me about Rick was his sense of surrender. And by surrender, I don't in any way mean resignation. As others have said, he never felt defeated. He was always optimistic, always positive, always hopeful. And, he would say sometimes after he'd processed the fear, he'd come to a sense of peace about things. And he would convey like a genuine trust in spirit, a genuine surrender. And I think it's because he knew to what he was surrendering. He really had a deep conviction in this loving presence of spirit, and that he was a spiritual being, and that whatever happened, he would live on, that life continued on even after a physical transition. And he knew that with a deep conviction. And I said to Ruth, as I was reflecting on my experience of Rick's life and how things unfolded, that I saw Rick as a guy who was really yearning for a greater level of freedom, really yearning for some sort of breakout. And it was almost as if the earth plane, this human life, could not contain him. That's the way I would see Rick. And that seemed to strike a chord with her. She's nodding right now. She said, yeah, that's Rick. He was ready to break out, just ready for something bigger, something grander. And apparently that's what he's done. He's moved on to a next level of experience. So I'd like to share just briefly a passage from one of the books that we used at the church, written by Ernest Holmes. He was the founder of the philosophy, the teaching that we embraced there. One of his books is called Living the Science of Mind. And in this passage, he's talking about the endless process of creation, the release of personal or human responsibility, a sense of surrender. Holmes would sometimes call it transferring the load. But this so much makes me think about Rick and his journey. This is what Holmes says. There is in each one of us the will to love, to live, to enjoy, to express, and to unfold. This will is divine, and our will is in partnership with this divine will, and our mind with this divine mind. Thus we expect and believe that all good shall come to us. As we transfer the load, a new meaning comes into life, a more spontaneous self-expression. Sadness gives place to joy and confusion, surrenders itself to peace. Action robbed of friction moves without fatigue, and the endless drama of life presents us with inspiring scenes and ever-moving experiences. This is the new heaven and the new earth. And when the final transference shall take place from this world into the next, we shall exclaim, "Into thy hands I commend my spirit." That's what I believe Rick experienced as he made his transition, as he passed from his physical form. He was saying, into my hands, into thy hands, the hands of spirit, I commend my spirit. I'm ready for the next show. That was Rick. So I thank you, Rick, for being such a vital and loving part of our North Hollywood community. Thank you for blessing us with your physical presence. Thank you for continuing to bless us with your spiritual presence. We love you, and you'll always be there with us.
I just wanted to say thank all of you. Just thank you for allowing me to share this evening with you. Because my only connection with Rick was when he would come up to me after a service or some event where I was singing. And it just all came alive again for me tonight, seeing all of you here and hearing you say the things that you I just feel so privileged to be a part of this. And I think about the song that I'm going to sing now, which toward the end I'll invite you to join me. When I was a child, we used to sit around the television and hear, I think her name was Ethel Waters, sing this song. And I remember thinking, you know, there were these big crowds of people and how she would touch their hearts. And to know that Rick was touched by this song just brings a great joy in my heart. And so I hope it do the same for you. Feel lonely, and why should the shadows fall, and why should my heart feel worried and long for heaven and home, when the Spirit is my portion, a constant friend indeed. God's eye is on the sparrow, and I know God is watching over me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He's watching over me. So this is for you. Let not your heart be troubled.
know that one. So I'm Martin Cornelis. I'm the host for tonight a little bit. I organized this all with a bunch of people. It's time for me to stop looking at this as a production and now take it personal. But Rick was my best friend, and he will always will be, and I lost a big part of me. I'm gonna miss him a lot. I prepared this whole thing except the speech. So the only thing that I was thinking of that I have to tell you guys, I don't know if you know that Mark was saying that he was walking with the walker, and I kept laughing at him too because it was funny, like an old woman all of a sudden. But he actually went and auditioned for a play, for a musical, and he was not giving up. He was like, and he walked on the stage with the walker, and he was auditioning for Frankenstein. He was offered the part. And he was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm on a walker. He was like, no, that would be great. We can figure it out. We'll have Frankenstein with a walker or whatever. And he eventually declined it because he was in too much pain. But I just came up to mine and, I wanted to show a little thing, a video. Rick is, the last thing he did as an actor was with me, actually. I designed this whole big world tour that is taking off in January, and I filmed him. And so he's actually going to go on a world tour in January. He's in the film, and it's Ginger Shankar, who is the Shankar family, and Nora Jones and all those people are putting up a big world tour. Designed it, and it's actually these curtains that I asked him to use, and it's going to be all over the stage, and basically she's standing in the middle, and then Rick's face just blows up like Hollywood Bowl style, basically. And so I wanted to show you guys that video, because he was in Hawaii last Saturday, so on the Hawaiian Film Festival, so here it is.
Justified, I am by your side, and you bring me down as often as you try. Can I break away before another day of wartime chemistry that keeps me deep inside? And then I'm in between, but it is who I used to be. As I lay down at your feet and ask forgiveness, which you never gave to me. Redemption is a hard-earned feat, of which I may never come to see. Do you remember why, before the clouds went dry and the warnings came darkening the sky, you went on the run to find a brighter sun that made you feel the same as every other one? Say what we mean, as I lay down at your feet and ask forgiveness, which you never gave to me. Redemption is a hard-earned feat, of which I may never come to see. If you could be wrong, though we don't agree, you refuse to see that I have grown up and know what's best for me. Have you thought it through? Because it's nothing new. Guilt won't work on me. I have to go be free. I'm in between. When did I lose who I used to be? As I lay down at your feet and ask forgiveness, which you never gave to me. Redemption is a hard-earned feat,
So thousands and thousands of people are going to see that. So that's going to be awesome. They're going to see Rick's fabulous drag queen. So, but going through the emotions too, he had so much fun doing it as well. So, so now we get to the end of the evening, and I wanted to thank everybody for coming tonight, and especially the family. It means, I mean, it's hard to, like, it's so weird to thank you guys for coming, but it just means so much for all of us here. You know, we were so excited that we were coming and that we can, you know, give Rick this final gift. But after Rick passed, a lot of us jumped in and, you know, wanted to make this day a special day. And I know they're gonna hate me for this, but I am bringing you on stage. So, first of all, Lynn Romanowski. Come on. For the people that don't know Lynn, Lynn was taking care of Rick. She always called him, he always called her Nurse Lynn. Actually, I ran my cell phone as Nurse Lynn as well. And she's a big love, and she made a lot of tough decisions that, you know, none of us would have dared to take, and she made the right ones, and we're very proud of you. Thank you. Next one. I said that, you know, Rick was my best friend, but I know Rick looked at this guy as his best friend. Joe Mo. Would you like to speak with you at this point? Joe Mo, come here. Okay. I know, you hate this. Jomo actually took care of Rick in the last couple of months of his life. Oh, come on, dude. He brought, you know, Rick couldn't really stand, and Jomo brought him all the groceries, and they watched TV together all the time. They lived in the same building. And Jomo loved to see Rick ride with reality shows, so that was his favorite thing to do.
I mocked him. I did.
Juana Louise. Where are you guys? Come on. These are people I got to know that I didn't know were in Rick's life, but the moment that Rick felt sick, they were there every day at the hospital, and you guys cared for him so much, and I got to know you guys, and you guys are just amazing people. Oh my God, no, I'm blanking out. Siri, oh my God, sorry. Siri, where are you, my love? Siri Johns. Siri's one of those people who went together to the Strasbourg, I know we hated it, to the Strasbourg, and so we know Rick for the last 10 years, so, and we've been best friends ever since as well. Arnie's not here tonight, Arnie Perez, and since we had to change the date, unfortunately, because the theater messed up. It's not my fault. So he's in San Francisco, so he's very unfortunate that he's not here. But the next one is my favorite person in the room, my fiancée, Sunil. Well, who of course got to know Rick through me, and Rick would go with him to the dog park with Mr. Prince, our dog, who he called Stinky, which is so untrue because we're gay parents, our dog smells amazing. Okay.
The cleanest dog you'll ever meet.
Yeah. Where am I missing that? I'm blanking out. Fabio, honey, come here. Fabio, come here. As we call him, the fabulous Fabio. So this is kind of the core group that took care of tonight, and there's a lot of people that gave us amazing donations to make this all happen, people that jumped in. Ian, that's helping out tonight as well, Roger, people that donated food as well. It's been amazing. So I want to thank you guys for coming, but as you know, it's called Wixo's Closing Night, so we can end without giving the last word to Rick. Cool. Yeah, that's it. Let's get off the stage.
I said I would not speak tonight, and I wouldn't ordinarily. However, I want to say to you that this community, the people that were called up here, and many others who are in the audience, were the people who loved Rick to his next expression. And I am a churchgoer, and you hear I'm a spiritual director, and I'm studying to be a chaplain. So maybe I know one or two things about this whole spiritual path. But I will tell you something. Rick was blessed. Blessed. So I'm going to tell you the story so that you know that he was healed. It was his last surgery, and we were in the pre-op area, and he looked at me and he said to me, "I know why I'm here." And I said, "Really? Tell me." We're waiting for surgeons and anesthesiologists. He says, "I'm here to heal all of these people." And I want you to hear that you were part of that journey. And that his grace, because he had that as his intention always, was that he was surrounded by all the people that you saw up here tonight during the past like 14 or so hours from the time Ruthie arrived around 9:30 on Friday night until he died at 3:02 on Saturday afternoon. His hand was always held. The room was filled with his closest friends, and they loved him. Do you hear me? They loved him. They loved him. Better than any church service you will ever be to. I think the closest you might have seen or felt tonight was when Tina brought us to that special place within us, through her music and through the music of Christopher. When Rick was dying, I had two goals: dignity and integrity. And it was hard to do those two goals. When he was finished, when I had to finish with all of those decisions, my next goal, and I give this to you now, in this moment, and forevermore, that because you have known Rick, my next two goals were for you. For peace in your heart and in your soul, and that you would have a healing because you know him. And you know him always. You know him always.
Lay down your sweet and weary head. Night is falling. You've come to journey's end. Sleep now. Dream of the ones who came before. They are calling from across a distant shore. Why do you weep? What are these tears upon your face? Soon you will see all of your fears will pass away, safe in my arms. You're only sleeping. into the world of night, through shadows falling out of memory and time. Don't say we have come now to the end. White shores are calling, you and I